already covered a lot of the collective implications of Uranus's ingress into Taurus. And this video, I'm going to focus on what it could mean for the individual. Because with Uranus changing signs, it is going to shake up a totally new part of our chart and therefore a new part of our lives. So I'm going to go down the list here with just a few keywords. This isn't an end all. Everyone's charts are personalized with planets and everything, but this is just kind of a place to get you started and to kind of know what's ahead. So for Aries, Uranus is going to illuminate the area of your values and finances. So you may have a radical reorganization of your priorities and your values, or this may be a time where you make radical changes to your relationship with money or your materials. I have an Aries friend who just bought a new house, and she said, I'm not taking any of this furniture for my apartment. I'm gonna totally start fresh. And that, in a sense, is the Uranian desire for freedom as far as materials go. So for Taurus, this is going to be huge for you because, again, Taurus people don't really like change that much. They kind of like to know what's ahead and what's to expect. But with Uranus coming in, we kind of have no idea what it's going to bring to your lives. New opportunities, surprises, invitations. But mainly the work that you're going to be doing over the next 7 years is a total reorientation of self, finding new ways to bring freedom. It's going to illuminate your own self-awareness in new ways. Things are going to happen that kind of reorient your relationship with yourself, and in the next 7 years, it's going to totally transform the way that you show up in the world. Gemini, this is going on in your subconscious. So this can bring, from a kind of a karmic standpoint, this can bring events that balance your karma. So if things come out of left field and you're like, well, where did that come from? That could be karmic if that's something that you subscribe to. But more than anything else, you're going to really benefit over the next 7 years from meditative, self-reflective practices because Uranus is illuminating and enlightening. And when you set the space for it to come to you, you are going to come out of those quiet spaces with more awareness. Cancer. This is going on in your 11th house of groups, friendships, and shared goals for the world. So big changes with groups of friends or people or groups that you associate with. If you're finding yourself craving more freedom, it might be time to spend less time with those groups because it's time for you to grow and spread your wings in new areas, because what you want to do is find more full, authentic expression where you spend your time and with whom you spend your time. Leo, this is going to be happening in your 10th house. That is pretty big. Big changes in career. Maybe you want to, maybe you get an invitation to segue your career focus in a new direction. Maybe you change jobs or fields altogether. Over the next 7 years, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to do different things with your career or make a clean break altogether. And maybe just a reorientation of your goals and ambitions. Virgo, this is going to be happening in your 9th house of the higher mind and spirituality. You are going to find opportunities to maybe seek more freedom in your yoga practice. Maybe you show up for practice and your regular teacher isn't there, and this new teacher gives you a totally new way to think about your practice, and it reinvigorates a sense of curiosity in your self-exploration and growth. This could also be having to do with higher education. Maybe you decide to go back to school. Maybe you decide that you don't want to study what you've been studying anymore, but this is going to shake up or refresh and illuminate your approach to expanding your mind. And travel would be really illuminating for you as well in the next 7 years, especially if you go to a new country or something like that. Let's see here. Libra, this is going to be happening in your 8th house. If you have any debts that you've been running away from, Uranus might bring them to the forefront again. So it might be a good time to tackle those and start learning a way to make those payments if you have that. Otherwise, this is kind of a house of intimacy and trust. So it may illuminate the way that you think about trust and what trust means to you. Your intimate partnerships might be enlightening in that respect of how you show up in an intimate partnership or how you create that sensation of trust. And this can also be things with huge investments. So maybe a surprise opportunity comes your way in the next 7 years. This is kind of a more complicated house, so I urge you to read a little bit more on that because it's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm doing here. But Scorpio, this is happening in your 7th house of partnership. You're going to be meeting some interesting people that shake up the way that you would normally partner. So you might decide, if you're single, to actually give this one person a chance that you otherwise wouldn't normally give a chance, and see what interesting things happen when that goes, because you're just going to be intrigued by different kinds of people, and the people that enter your life are here to wake you up somehow. And you know, our relationships are one of the most important ways and biggest ways that we can learn about ourselves, because they are our mirrors. So these relationships that you draw in are going to be really important and eye-opening for you. For Sagittarius, if you are wanting to drastically change your health or your routine, that could be, you know, anything from your diet to your exercise regimen to what you do on a daily basis. So it can also be your work. And it can also be a development of your craft, because it's the things that you do on a daily basis that create a life. So if you are dissatisfied with the way things are going for you, this is a huge opportunity for you to dramatically change your everyday life, routine, diet, exercise regimen, whatever it may be, because you're wanting to find more freedom in your body, more freedom in your health. So this is a big opportunity for you to do that. Capricorn, this is happening in your 5th house of creativity. Capricorns are usually very methodical. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of switch up your methods and get really creative and allow yourself to go with the flow a little bit more, because new ideas are going to be coming in for you. If you have children, this can be a really exciting time with children. They might be wanting to learn a new instrument or branch out in their own creative direction. So if you have children, you really want to support their creativity during this time and kind of offer them and provide for them eye-opening experiences. You know, if you have the opportunity to take them to another country, this would be a time that they would remember as a part of their growth, probably. So, oh yeah, and lots of playtime for Capricorn. This is going to help you become more like the baby goat instead of the more serious Capricorn. Okay. Aquarius, this is happening in your 4th house of home and family. Big shakeups in the home. If the power keeps going out, that's like a symptom of Uranus, but even bigger, oh, here comes the rain. Even bigger than that, there could be shocks, surprises, disturbances in the home or family. Not saying that your ceiling is going to implode, but you get the idea. Also, if you wanted to suddenly sell your house or move, these are things you're just going to feel maybe a little bit like things are in motion in the home for the next 7 years. So whether you're doing a series of renovations on a home that you just bought, or you know, your siblings are all having kids. I mean, these are really exciting things, but also the 4th house represents your inner core. So if you're feeling a little bit anxious, you're going to want to find proper outlets for yourself. Think exercise, creativity, joining the trivia group, whatever it might be, you're going to want to have outlets, because when you're stuck inside, it's just going to manifest as anxiousness. And last but not least, Pisces. This is going to illuminate your third house of the mind and communication. You might find that you suddenly want to be a little bit more extroverted. You want to express yourself. This could illuminate and shake up the way that you communicate, the way that you come across. Maybe you just become more aware of that part of yourself. And this could also be really creative if you're in a writing field or a teaching field, or this is also the house of vehicles and siblings, so exciting things going on with your siblings. Oh, and neighbors. You might have like a really weird, interesting neighbor. And then maybe when it comes time to renew your car lease or buy a car in the next 7 years, you decide to go with the orange car instead of the charcoal color car, because why not have an interesting ride? So that's just a little bit of what Uranus in Taurus might bring to the signs. But overall, it's about illuminating and shaking up so that we become alert and aware to this new area of our lives. And if you want more information, there's a lot of information out there. I did say the house names for your sign. So go forth and explore a little bit more if you are so curious to do so.